For more, let's bring in Dr. Ilai Saltzman, an associate research professor of Israel Studies and the director of the Gildenhorn Institute for Israel Studies at the University of Maryland. Dr. Saltzman, thanks for joining us. Officials in both the U.S. and Europe say it appears Israel is preparing an attack on Iran soon. Why would they launch an attack now?
Well, first of all, these reports have been around for quite a while, so I wouldn't take these, there's more urgency now, obviously, because there's more chatter. But generally speaking, these concerns were voiced in the past as well. The main reason now is that the Israeli government feels that there's a window of opportunity or window of vulnerability from the Iranian perspective. In one of the recent attacks that the Israelis have conducted in Iran, they were able to take out some of its major air defense systems. And at the same time, there were reports, including the IAEA just recently, saying that Iran has been enriching its nuclear material, uranium, to a level that allows it to develop at least a few atomic bombs. So in that sense, they feel that the time is running out and that there's a need to attack now rather than be sorry later.
The International Atomic Energy Agency has formally declared Iran in breach of its non-proliferation obligations for the first time in 20 years. Iran has rejected that assertion, and that would enhance aspects of its nuclear program in response. The U.S. and Iran are scheduled to have nuclear talks on Sunday. What do you suppose the end game is here, and can it actually be achieved?
Well, I think it's part of the negotiations. I think that the Iranians are playing tough. They're playing a difficult game of chess, 3D perhaps. There's an offer on the table that the Trump administration has conveyed through the envoy, Steve Witkoff. And come Sunday, they will negotiate and they will see what the Iranian response is.
Now, 2 weeks ago, President Trump warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about striking Iran while U.S. negotiations were still underway. So how much influence does the president actually have in this situation?
I think that a great deal of influence, certainly. And indeed, a couple of days ago, Trump even went further and said that there's no green light. In other words, there's a red light to any prospects of an Israeli independent unilateral attack. The United States does not want to be complicit, certainly while the talks in Oman will take place this coming Sunday. But more generally, they are very much concerned about retaliatory actions by the Iranian regime against U.S. targets in the region. Case in point, for example, they ordered the evacuation of 3 embassies in the regions, Iraq, Kuwait, and Bahrain for the time being. And even Trump made a comment that the region is very volatile, very dangerous at the moment.
So how could the U.S. be pulled into this situation, in your opinion?
Well, I think that from the Iranian perspective, anything that Israel does comes with American blessing. So if the Israelis go alone and decide to attack the nuclear sites independently without any American involvement, this will not do. This will not help to facilitate or alleviate any concerns from Tehran that there was some kind of coordinations behind the scenes with the American administration.
Obviously, so many details still developing. Dr. Ilai Saltzman, thank you so much. We do really appreciate your perspective.
Thank you so much, Tara. Have a good one.